monsters left in the world.
Everybody knows.
That's my home. My fight. Your precious leader's after something.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode. We're doing a live stream today. I'm costumeco, Heidi at costumeco. Thank you so much for joining us. And today we're doing a live stream about The Witcher season 2. So really excited to have you. Today, I have 3 wonderful guests who are joining me. I haven't had you ladies on for a long time. Actually, Alicia, not so long, but I'm just going to go around and introduce everyone. First of all, we have Geraldine, aka Nani, aka Seamstressed.
Hello.
In full regalia there. We have Tanya from A Thousand Eyes in One podcast.
Hi.
With us. And finally, we have Alicia Kingston of Zentrea. Am I saying that right?
Hello.
And it's Alicia's birthday. Happy birthday, Alicia.
Happy birthday,
Thank you.
Alicia.
Yay.
Appreciate you remembering.
Of course. And on the back end, we have Justin Thomas of Top Shelf Fandom, who is doing the controls, and he is running all of the pictures and the graphics for us. It's going to be an awesome show.
It's like flying an airplane. Happy to have you.
Exactly. So to kick everything off, why don't we everyone will go around the table. Everyone can introduce themselves. So Alicia, why don't you start?
Hey everyone, AK. My channel name is AK Watch. You can go check me out there if you'd like. I always say you can find me by finding my friends though, because I'm usually on their channel more than I am on my own. And yeah, like Heidi said, it's my birthday and the year is almost over. And luckily I don't have to do any work anywhere except YouTube until 2022. So
That's right. We were just saying
happy
that
to be relaxing.
Yeah, both Alicia and myself have just finished work, so we're off a little bit to the new year, really, and that's a nice way to start your birthday, obviously.
It is.
Yeah, and I'm really glad you're spending your birthday with us.
And thank you for having me on my birthday. I appreciate it.
Next, we have Tanya, new mom Tanya.
Yes.
I don't know if you like adding that onto your name.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
I haven't seen you it's been a while because you've been so busy. You have so much going on in your life. So what are you up to?
So we're podcasting for The Wheel of Time. And we're going to do a live stream next weekend for the finale. A Thousand Eyes in One podcast. That's us. We're still doing trivia. We're still doing our book club. It's just a lot of balancing because I do have a new baby. He's 3 months old now.
Congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
And he's adorable.
He crashed my last video.
Yeah, Alicia, actually, we should talk then because Justin and I are going to do a live stream about the Wheel of Time finale. So maybe we can connect with you on that.
You know where to find me.
Live. We have a super chat too from Here Be Dragons, one of the best people in the fandom.
Oh my gosh,
Steven
thank
Stark.
you so much.
Yes.
That's really lovely. Thank you so much. Toss a coin to your costume critic. That's really nice. Thank you so much. That's very generous. And finally, we have my YouTube friend, who is Nani at Seamstressed, but she's also dressed up today as Geraldine from The Witcher. So Nani, tell us everybody a little bit about you.
Yeah, I am a costume person. I'm not a cosplayer, but I do like costumes and I do like copying things that are complicated. So here I am as Geraldine of Rivia, the Slayer Queen. And yeah, so I have a YouTube channel where I make some sewing videos and that's it about me. Yeah. I'm terrible with words and presentation of myself, but yeah.
No, you're not. You're amazing. And actually, I put everyone's links down below. Actually, Alicia, I think I have to put your Twitter handle. Anyway, if it's not there, it will be there. I have everyone's contacts below. But I want to say one of the reasons why we're doing this stream a little bit earlier is because Nani is in Germany and there's a little bit of a time delay. So we decided we tried to find it a little bit, a compromise there. So if you're watching on the replay, hello, thank you so much for coming. So to get started, where should we begin? All right. What I think I'll do is maybe we could just go around and have just a first impressions from everyone about season 2. Now, I know everyone hasn't seen all of season 2 necessarily. And the other thing I was going to say, we might get into mild spoilers, but we're going to kind of keep this spoiler free. Is that fair for everyone?
Yeah.
All right. So Alicia, why don't we start with you? I think you've only watched 4 episodes.
About 2.5 actually.
Oh, okay, 2.5. Okay,
didn't have as much time set apart today as I thought I did.
So we're like, just like compared to season 2, season 1, I should say, where are you at here with the show?
I'm still very much enjoying it. It's moving at a decent pace, I think. The way they did the pacing and the time for season 1 was a bit wonky, easy enough to follow, but it's a lot more cleaner put together this season. And they're moving towards things, I don't want to say quickly, but at a good pace. Like they basically just hit the ground running, and I like where it's going. I love that Siri is in full-on training now, and she has a lot of the look that she has in the games that I've seen. So I very much appreciate that.
Great. Yeah. What about you, Tanya? What do you think? So far, so good, or so far, so bad?
Definitely. I finished the season. I binged it all, stayed up all night because
amazing.
That's what I do now. Stay up all night. So
I watched with the baby watches with you, right?
Yes.
I was worried about Squid Game. You told me the baby was watching
Squid Game too. My older son was sword fighting today with wrapping paper, so
that's true.
Might have to start watching on my own, but I enjoy it so far. Compared to season 1, I would say that I understood people's complaints about season 1 with the time skipping and all of that, because you don't pick up on it right away, and not everyone is into that. I enjoyed it, but I could see why people didn't like it. And also, since the first season is like short stories largely, because it's based on the short stories, it kind of feels like things don't really tie together. So I felt like this season was definitely more cohesive as far as like the main storyline that we're following, without, these other storylines that kind of end. And like, for instance, Renfrey in season 1, that whole thing feels like it's going to be something else, and then it ends and you're like, oh, wait. But I was familiar with the short stories. So I knew what it was drawing from, but I feel like if you aren't, then it could have been a little bit disappointing. But I do like season 2, and I feel like people who weren't necessarily that into season 1 will like season 2 a lot better.
Yeah, actually, Henry Cavill made a comment. He said on social media that he understood why some people would have had an issue with the non-linear storyline. So he thought that was reasonable criticism. And obviously this season is completely linear, so that feels a little easier to watch, I think.
Yeah, I think and it wasn't just that it was non-linear. It's these short stories within it. You get to know like a thing that's going on, and then that wraps up, and it's like, where are we going with this? Like, where's the Striga? Like, or is this going to come back? And it doesn't come back really, but but again, I was familiar with the short stories, so I kind of got a handle on what was happening once it started. So I understand it, but not necessarily agree, but I understand.
Okay, cool.
Super
all right.
Chat from Amy Blackfire saying,
oh, Amy, thank you so much. You didn't have to do that. That's so sweet of you. Happy birthday, Alicia, again. AK, for the panel, what scene stood out to you this season? Okay, maybe we can get to that just after we get to Nani's first impressions, and then we'll get to that. Okay?
You can answer that first, and then I'll talk my first impression.
I have to think about it.
You have to.
Let me think about it.
Busted.
Well, I am. Yeah, and you called me out on it there, Nani. Thanks.
Yeah, just putting you on the spotlight.
Exactly.
Yeah, I really like season 2 as well. I didn't have much problems with season 1 and the pacing, because I have a living, breathing Witcher dictionary next to me, and he's like explaining everything. So it was kind of okay for me to follow the storylines and all of the tiny stories and what the monsters are. And I like it. I really, really do like it. I don't have a problem, because I am not deep into the original story. So everything that comes at me is like, oh, this is interesting, so it's okay. But the husband is mad. He's mad because there were
for
many
anyone who doesn't know,
changes.
Nanny's talking about her husband. He's a big book fan, game fan, I gather.
Yeah.
So he is not happy with the adaptation.
No, he's not
Okay.
happy with some of the changes they made, some of the creative liberties they took with some of the characters this season too. So
I think though that Henry Cavill is a massive fan, and I think he seemed pretty happy with them.
yeah, but well, he's Henry Cavill, so what can he say about it actually?
Yeah, exactly. Because he doesn't want, because I mean, it's his boss, right? Like
Yeah.
he's the actor. Yeah, he's sincere though. By the way, before we go any further, I just wanted to say hi to everybody, which I forgot to do. Who is here? Amy was here. We already acknowledged her. Here be Dragons, Danny McKay, Santavia Majors here. Angel over. She got the notification this time. She said she didn't get one last time. Sangsrixian. Am I saying that right? Sangsrixian? Justin, am I saying that correctly?
You want her to draw it for you?
It's Sanrixie.
Yeah,
Sanrixie.
I butcher everybody's name, so yeah, I know she's a very talented artist.
Rickus is here. Simulk 1916 is here. Hopefully I'm saying that right now. And Tatiana's here. She says, sup, I'm just popping in to say hi because I'm on my way to the airport to go home for the holidays. Merry Christmas.
Travel
Merry
safely.
Christmas, Tatiana. I sent you a card. I don't know if you'll get it on time though. Okay, so where are we going to go from here? So we'll answer this question then, which was in the super chat from Amy Blackfire, which is, where'd it go? What scene stood out to you this season? So why don't I start with Alicia? What scene stood out to you? I'm still thinking about mine.
Well, I don't have that much to draw on, but I will say the beginning of Siri's training sequence. I liked, and then they went right back into it the second episode. I'm always a fan of seeing the master and the student like doing the side by sides, so that I enjoyed seeing that.
Yeah, that is really good. Did you get to the point where she was doing the like she's going through
the obstacle course?
Obstacle course.
Yeah.
Didn't that remind you of like American Gladiator or something? One of those shows.
It did.
Yeah.
And I wasn't expecting her honestly to do as good as she did. However, I should have known. I mean, it's Siri. So yeah, I enjoyed that too.
For sure. I thought that was kind of fun. I liked it. And then, Geralt comes out and he stands there watching. I thought that was kind of cool. What about you, Nanny? What is there a scene that stood out to you?
Yes, but I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk about it because it was on the last episode.
Oh, okay. Maybe, yeah.
Go for it. I don't mind spoilers.
No, we're doing only mild spoilers. So it's
okay.
All right.
Yeah. Is there another scene that's not a spoilery scene?
I can actually talk about the scene without revealing what happened.
Sure. Okay.
I enjoyed the scene because the effects were really good and there was a lot of blood, so I liked it.
Yeah. What about you, Tanya? Do you have anything that stood out to you? I'm having a hard time with this.
I really like any scene where Geralt is fighting, and I always want more of it. So in the later episodes when he's at the temple fighting, I think though that was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I just watched that episode today, so that was an amazing scene. There's a lot of quiet scenes. There's some good quiet scenes, I think, too, that I kind of enjoy. My favorite, I think, is Yasker's banter that he has with Yennefer. I really love that.
Oh yeah,
I just thought that, like, just comedy, like comic relief type thing. Their relationship cracks me right up. It's really, really good. So maybe that's what I'll say for now until 30 days. Okay, so where are we going to go from here then? I just have to pull up my notes here, guys. All right. So did we want to talk? I know, Tanya, you talked just a little bit about the difference between the book and the show. Like, did you want to touch on that? You're probably the main person who has read a little bit of the books.
Well, yeah, I've only read two of the books, the first book of short stories, and then the first book of like the longer story, the first like full novel. So I don't remember a lot of the background from it. Last season was more of that. And as far as the game, I'm really bad at video games, but I started playing it and I got really stressed out at a point where I had to fight a griffin, and I've been like dodging this griffin now for like going over a year. I've been dodging this griffin. I just like start gathering supplies whenever the griffin's nearby. So I can't do a lot of book and game comparison for this season.
Yeah.
Tisk.
Yeah. So I'm a show only person. So if anyone is in the chat talking about that, so that's like, I'm kind of just, it's the same with Wheel of Time. I'm just kind of coming into this as a show only person. And so anything I'm gleaning from it is based on just what I'm seeing on the screen. I have no preconceived story. So like some of the things you were talking about, some of the disconnects, I can see what you're saying, but it didn't really, for me, take away too much from the enjoyment. Like, cause I just love Geralt so much, I'm just sort of like, he's so riveting, and I don't know. I think the story's pretty good. Like so far, so good. Do we want to talk about, I have it on the notes, what worked versus what didn't work? Is there anything that didn't work for you guys going in from going like season 1 going into season 2? Is there anything you watched?
From what I've seen so far.
So yeah, because you're just sort of into it, just a few episodes. So is there anything you went, that doesn't kind of work for me? That kind of fell flat, or thought it was kind of weird?
The Yennefer storyline was for me a little bit weird. Especially after I watched the video where the director, she's explaining why they changed from the books to the way they changed, and it's already turned into a meme. Like they say, because I don't know, Yennefer is not in the books in the first part, so she comes only later on, but she just couldn't leave her out of the series for that long. So that's why she changed the story, but it doesn't really make sense in the whole thing, and it kind of contradicts itself in the beginning and what developments she has with Ciri along the story of season 2. So this is what I kind of wish didn't happen, but the rest is okay. And Steve is very annoyed. I actually wanted him to come sit with me to talk about all the things that annoyed him, but he didn't want to show up. So he's sitting next to me, just like looking very angry. I was like, yeah.
Well,
Vesemir. They changed Vesemir's character a lot. And this is the thing that is annoying him the most about the season 2. How dare they change Vesemir?
As somebody that hasn't seen season 2 yet, but I watched season 1 and I'm familiar with the story, if I could ask the panel how, because I thought the CGI, especially for the amount of money that was put into this series, we're talking a Game of Thrones final season budget for their first season, I thought that the monsters looked atrocious. I thought they looked Xena Warrior, Princess season 1. How are they looking this season?
I didn't think they looked that bad.
Okay, I'm not. Hey, let's not act like I'm always right. All right, I'm kind of a prick, but I'm just. It was a complaint. They looked a little bit. They looked a little bad in the first season. I wasn't.
From what I've seen for this season,
weird.
It looks good.
Yeah, the dragon in season 1 was weird for me. Remember the dragon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
season 1, the gold dragon. But I think that the monsters look pretty good in this season. What do you think, Tanya?
I looked away a lot because I'm a scaredy cat, but I didn't think the monsters were too bad. I also didn't think it was that far off from last season, so I guess if you didn't like it last season, maybe you won't like them this season either. But they usually disgust me and I end up like looking away.
Yeah, I don't know.
The monsters I've seen I thought looked good.
Yeah, what about you, Nani? What did you think of the monsters?
I like them. I didn't really like that they don't show much of the backstory of the monsters as they did in season 1, because in season 1 they kind of explained a little bit more of why the things were the way they were and what happened to them, but this season they just like showed weird things and coming out of nowhere and for no specific reason, but the effects are really good. I like
the vampire. I thought she was really good.
Yeah.
She was creepy.
She was
Verena?
really,
Was
she
that
looked
her
like
name?
something you would see in a horror movie. I thought
She
her
scared
character,
the shit out of me.
Anything
Yeah, it
climbing
was-
on ceilings,
the climbing on the
just
ceilings
pass.
thing, didn't
No.
it feel like something out of a horror movie for
And
sure?
like her
compared to the other
jerky
monsters?
movements.
Where like
Yeah.
her joints just aren't even joints, and she can twist around and just pineapple.
Yeah, all of her movements freaked me out, and like the way she was like just kind of like all jerky and weird, it freaked me out a lot. That was really good. But I think it
And
was
her
Verena.
eyes were really, they did something
Yeah.
strange with her eyes.
Yeah.
It was probably
Yeah,
She
like
was
her
hella
irises
creepy.
were like the wrong size or something.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so I thought she, like, you can. Justin's got a picture of her up her mouth with the rows of teeth, and
Yeah.
I thought she was.
That reminded me
she
of
was one of my
it.
favorite monsters, and they did explain her backstory. We did get her backstory.
Mm.
What was I going to say? There's a few. Is there another one? Oh, thank you. It says, here be Dragon says, the best scene in the whole season, in my opinion, is the dock worker critiquing Yaskir's song and basically a takedown of season 1. I actually was so funny because I did a meme about that because I said it reminded me of YouTube, when you have someone who's critiquing your, you put your content out and then you got someone coming and critiquing your work. And then you have to decide, okay, should I just stop and just let them go ahead and critique it? Or should I respond to them? And of course, the asker couldn't help himself, right? He had to just respond.
Yeah.
Which, because then it would have been like, dude, what are you doing? Like, it's fine. You're going to, get away and everything. And then it's like, oh no.
Yeah.
That was a fun scene.
As someone new to YouTube, that's so jarring for me. Things that people say. And I had to say to myself, would I respond to this in person? Like, probably not. So I'll let somebody else handle it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I liked how Yaskier just kind of like lost it. Just
I know he's
could
really
not handle the
this season.
criticism.
Okay, so we'll start with the plot. So, I mean, we were talking about, like, last season, we had some non-linear storylines, multiple storylines happening. This year, it's fairly linear. We have, like, I call it the monster of the week. Like, that's what they used to call it, Justin. I think they call it that on, the X-Files or something. So you've got, like, the great story, but then each episode, you've got a monster, right? So how do you guys feel about the plot so far? Tanya, I'll start with you.
I had no problems with it. I was able to follow it pretty easily. It wasn't, particularly complicated. I'm trying not to like say anything spoilery, but yeah, I didn't have any problems with the plot overall. I would have liked to see a little bit more background information, like specifically with the temple. He talks a little bit about being sent there as a kid, but they don't get too much into what they do there. And I would have liked to see that. That's something I do remember a little bit from the books. Who was it? Santavia was saying that her favorite character from Bridgerton is in the show, and she's in the temple. She's the main character in the temple. Oh, okay. The priestess.
Yeah, she's really great.
Nanaka.
Yes. Like, I think there's like, it feels like maybe some things could have been fleshed out a bit more. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Alicia, of what you've seen so far?
I am all in for all of it. I like the way they've been doing all of the pacing. I like how everything is coming together. I'm a little skeptical on how some of the characters are reacting to their dreams. I mean, they may be on purpose, but it seems like Yennefer is the only one that's actually really paying attention to anything. So I don't know where that's going to go yet. Probably going to finish watching after we're done here later tonight. And I don't know, I guess we'll just see if my hunches are correct or not. And we'll go from there.
I think your hunches are pretty good, actually. I was going to say one of the things I was going to say was that I thought was a little bit okay. Yeah. Nani, let's go to you first, and then I'll come back to if I can remember what I was going to say about the story and how you think the plot is.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I don't think that if you don't have any knowledge of the book and the game that you're going to be lost in anything. Like, I think the things are explained enough for the time they have to show I did wish
Yeah, it's
they,
only 8 episodes, right?
yeah,
So
I did wish they spent a little bit more time in the backstories, as I said before. But other than that, like if you're a total noob, you can totally understand what's going on and you're not going to be lost. And it's probably even better if you don't have the background, because then you can just accept the stories as they are and the characters as they are and not find so many flaws.
Yeah.
Fair.
I just want to say OTDA is here, and I still owe him his prize.
I talked to him last week. We're good.
I'm the worst. I was like, oh my God, I got to do this. Anyway, we'll have that worked out. No, what I was going to say is, where I was a little confused was with Redanian intelligence. I was a little bit confused about that. I didn't know anything about that. I actually had to look it up. So, Alicia, you haven't seen that part yet, but that, the part with Graham McTavish, is it Graham McTavish from or Outlander? He plays like a bad guy in the red robes. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I haven't watched that much Outlander. I don't think I made it past like season 2.
Oh, yeah. He's wearing a long red robe and he's got a white beard and he's bald. Oh, he's kind of crazy.
Yeah. The one who talks to the owl.
The owl, yeah.
Buff
I was a little
grandpa.
lost about that. I was like, what is going on here? Why is he poisoning this guy? Why is he kind of nuts? And then apparently he's the head of the Redanian intelligence. I had to look it up. So you guys in the chat can tell me if you were confused by that.
Buff grandpa. This is only
Buff
thing-
grandpa, yeah.
This is the only thing that I got from his character, is that he's a buff grandpa.
Yeah, and he's going to be in the new House of the Dragon as well. Graham McTavish. He's like in so much stuff, that guy. And he's from Outlander, and then there was another character in there from Outlander as well. So it's just like all the, they're basically harvesting from other shows, other Netflix shows, I guess. Okay, so what about characters? This is probably the most important thing. I think this is kind of a character-driven show. Like there's a lot of action as well. But as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of quiet scenes. So what do you think about the characters in this season? We've been introduced to some new characters, but obviously a lot of the characters, the main players, are back this season. What do you think about where they were last season versus where they are now when we kind of catch up with them? I'll start with you, Alicia.
I'm bad at remembering names sometimes. The woman that was captured with Yennefer.
Fringilla.
Yes.
Thank you. See, I knew Tanya would have it. That's why I was waiting. I think I want to throw hands at her a little more than I did last season. I don't get how she can stay so stuck in the headspace that she's in with the truth of everything she's seeing happening around her.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to start getting an arc with her, like for sure. I'm kind of coming around to her because like last, season, she was kind of like, she was done dirty, I think, last season. And I'm kind of coming around to her. Well, she kind of like, she got the worst, like, what do you call it? Yeah. Position. Like she didn't get the top choice position because to work with the kings and queens or what have you, if I recall, she got kind of stuck in a bad like job posting is what I was going to try and say.
Yeah.
All right. I still think she's being a bit too naive in how quickly she wants to align herself with one of the biggest enemies that they've been fighting since forever. But by that same token, though, the woman that's leading the elves now, I don't think she's in the right headspace to be doing what she's doing either.
See, I think she's the one who's naive.
Yeah.
I think she very much so. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, someone said that Fringilla's hair is amazing this season. I have to agree.
Yes, I loved it.
There's some really great hair this season, and then some really bad hair this season. We'll get to that. Like some just really bizarre, but obviously one of the things I was going to say, I don't know what you think, Tanya. I think that they have done some really great hair with black hair this season, which is such a refreshing thing. I'm like, did they bring in a stylist who is actually knows what they're doing? That's what I felt compared to House of the Dragon.
That was something that I thought the moment I saw Fringilla, when she's out, fully dressed in her regalia and everything, and I saw her braids, and I was like, oh, they brought in a black stylist. Like I was like,
Absolutely.
my first thought was they brought in,
but
a
also
black
that elf.
stylist.
There's an elf.
Yes,
the boy elf.
What is his name?
He's got like a fro. He's got like a massive
afro,
fro,
and then
like
later
his hair
he has
goes from being a
braids.
tiny little fro last season to like this. and then all of a sudden then they braid it. And I'm like,
Yeah, they
oh my
braided it
God,
and
it's
shaved the
amazing.
sides. Yeah.
It's
I will
beautiful.
be looking forward to
And,
that.
and
I
it's
know,
like, and it's like real braids, not
It
like the
is.
glued on
yeah, like
wigs
his
that you
actual hair.
usually
Yeah.
see. Yeah, it's not like Tyler Perry wigs. It's like they
Let's
actually
not speak
parted.
that.
Yes, bring that person into House of the Dragon for the love of God. Get that person, whoever that is. Well, Henry Cavill was talking about the hair person. Apparently, they're just brilliant. Like, but they would have to have a team. They would have to have a team just to do all that.
Oh,
hair.
definitely.
It's one of the things with fantasy sometimes that can just be so annoying is the way they do Black characters' hair. Like they do them
Hair
so
and the
dirty.
lighting.
Yeah, and the lighting too, and like a lot
Always
of times
off.
they do them so dirty. That was actually one of the things I really liked with the Wheel of Time. I talk about a lot is
Exactly what I was going to bring up.
Nynaeve's hair and the way they did her braids. Like I had a whole conversation about that because I was so excited the way they did her braids because I've had my hair braided like that and like it made sense for her hair texture and you know everything.
And they kept it
beautiful.
to her actual like nationality to her people, like where she's from, right?
Yeah. Like she still does like, you know, well, I'm talking about a different show, but in any case, they did really
Sorry,
well.
Heidi.
Yeah, they did really
Oh,
well.
no, not at all. No, actually, I'll have to have you come back and we'll talk about that. But so anyway, yeah, so that because I even loved how they did it like almost like a sort of a Renaissance crown, like they made it kind of like that, which they would have actually. It was funny because when I was doing a little bit of research on it, they would have made these little hats made out of hair, so it kind of reminded me of that, but they kind of built it in, or like Sansa Stark, like they kind of built in a little braid thing. So that was really, really nice. So you love the way they do her hair. But what about some of the other characters? What did you guys, is there any characters you're kind of like, oh, I love this character or I don't love this character? What do you think, Tanya?
So the main elf queen, I can't remember her name. I think she is incredibly naive and that her husband is a fool and is not seeing that he needs to stand up to her a little bit. And you know, not
how did he get dethroned? Did they go into that later on, like why he's not in charge anymore? Well, and it's her that's leading the elves.
Oh yeah, I don't know why she's leading instead of him.
Okay,
it's kind of like a matriarchal society almost.
Okay,
Is it? I'm not sure. One of the things I was going to say is what is with her pregnancy though? Like I met this woman last week who is pregnant with twins, like full term. And that stomach she has, I was just like, I don't know why her stomach is that big. Like, can someone explain to me why like a pregnant woman has like a shelf like that? Like Jack's like, you could put like a full plate of dinner on there.
That's how I looked at the end of my pregnancy.
I was gonna say, yeah. Some kids just be rotund like that.
I was like, whoa, what is coming out of there? A toddler? What is happening there?
Dude, it was my kid. It was like he was stretched out on a hammock. Like people kept thinking I was gonna go into labor any minute when I was like 7 months along. Like my stomach, it was like a bullet. It just stuck straight out completely. And just I absolutely balanced things on it. I could rest a plate on it to eat. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, you could have like you'd have a little snack sitting there while you're watching TV. Right?
I absolutely would sit snacks right on top of it because it stuck out completely straight. It was like he was like in a hammock, just stretched out, laid down.
What about you, Nani? Is there any character that you kind of like? Oh, I really love this character. I wasn't crazy about this character. Anybody? And not your husband's opinion, your own opinion.
Yeah. Who did I really like? I have to think about that because I don't have a favorite. I think I like.
Well, it doesn't have to be a favorite personally, but just like, is there any like observation you had about a particular character that sort of spoke to you or?
I know, not really. Actually, this is weird. Like I really like Fringilla. I don't know her name. It's Fringilla, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of liking her storyline right now. And
me too.
But I think her clothes are just weird.
We're gonna get to that. Braids are good, clothes are weird. Okay.
Yeah, I think the braids were all
dress her well.
Yeah. Like Geralt. What about Geralt? What does everyone think of Geralt? I mean, he's, I think he's pretty good. Like he's
flawless. Seriously,
he's pretty good. Every time there was this one moment where he was looking at Yennefer, and I'm like, oh my god, look at his face. He's so
See,
sweet.
I'm usually saying, look at his thighs.
Look at his
Yeah.
thighs.
Oh,
Well,
that
it's
ass.
ridiculous. His body is just crazy.
Oh
That's
my God.
Oh
otherworldly.
man,
That is
Well,
a
I'm
man
glad-
that does not skip leg day.
Yeah.
I'm happy
What
you
about
guys have some eye
Alicia?
candy. Congratulations.
You know who I'm kind of liking this? Maybe it's because of her costumes. I'm really liking Triss this season. Trish Marigold. I'm kind of liking her. Kind of.
I haven't seen much of her outside of the infirmary that she was in.
Yes.
For where I
Yeah,
am.
you will. Yes. Sorry, that might
You
be.
know
I
who
will keep an eye out though.
You know who I enjoy that we don't see a lot of? The dwarves.
Oh yeah, they're pretty. They're
They're
so
so
really good.
funny.
They are really funny,
And they're ferocious fighters too. I like their fight scene.
Totally.
I
Yeah,
really enjoyed their fight scene.
Absolutely. Yeah. They're really, really fun. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So then let's get to, there's Trish. Yeah. So that's her from last season. And, we'll get to the costumes. Okay. So are there any
Blue looks
special
great.
themes, any themes that you want to touch on that that you feel are happening this year compared to maybe last year, or just overall, and any overall themes that we want to touch on? Is that too deep for everybody?
2.5 episodes in, I got
It's not
nothing
my
on that.
wheelhouse, but
It's just
oh,
like,
you thought Triss's hair is fugly? Really? Oh, really? I
I
kind
like
of like
Triss's
it.
hair.
Everyone has such opinions. Okay, well, let's skip that then. We're gonna go to. Let's go. What about the acting? What do you guys think of the acting overall? What do you think of series acting?
I think
I'm kinda-
Siri's fantastic.
Do you think it's really fantastic?
I do.
There's moments where I'm like, I don't know if I buy it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's been some small moments where, between the couple episodes I've seen, that it seems like, something is maybe a tad bit off. Like she didn't maybe interpret something correctly, but for the most part, she's kind of been on point for me since season 1. There's very few really good child actors out there. I like what this kid's doing.
I think sometimes it might be the writing though, because there's like a couple of things I was like, why would she say that? Like, why would she do that? Like, because they were kind of like describing her like she is a princess and she knows she's a princess and she acts like a princess, but at the same time, she's also working really hard.
That just reminded me. That's the scene that I really liked in the beginning when they first got to the Witcher school. I don't remember the name of the castle.
Kaer Morhen.
Thank you. When they first got there and Eskel came in and he's trying to play big hard ass getting back home. He's like, who are you? And for a hot second, it looked like she was gonna cower, but then you saw that regal come right up to her and she just looked at him, rolled her eyes, put her cup down. That scene right there, that I think was probably my favorite series so far.
Mm-hmm.
I think her screen debut was season 1 as well. I don't think she did anything.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
She never acted. Okay. I have to say, I have one critique about that scene is the way she's sitting at the table. She's got her legs open, and I'm like, she would never have had her legs open like that. She's a princess.
Don't think so?
See, I thought
She
it was
wearing
her
a
trying
dress.
to fit
If
in.
she had been in pants, I'd be like, okay. But she was in a gown, and she would have been trained like all her life to sit like a lady.
I agree with Tanya on that one.
Yeah, I thought she was doing it to try to fit in with the Witchers.
Really?
She's
I
in a
think it would
gown
be hard to get. I think it would be hard to get out of that. Like, I think it would be hard to get out of that training, like that she's been taught all her life.
She used to dress up like a boy to go play games with the kids in the neighborhood. I guess I don't think that's out of her wheelhouse at all.
Yeah, she was like the tomboy thing. So
yeah, she's already used to that.
Yeah, she's not really indoctrinated to sit like a lady. She never wanted to sit like a lady. So for me, it was kind of okay. So she's still like a child who does whatever she wants.
Okay, I'll be the outlier on that. You guys can all disagree with me. I don't have a problem with that. She's not bratty and ratty looking enough for me. Laugh-a-les, says Jess. Hi, Jess.
Hey, Jess.
Okay, so everyone, so you guys are all cool with the acting. You're all cool with the characters. You guys are too easygoing. There's no like You guys don't have any
I know we need to fight about
here.
something.
I said
This
the
way,
Xena thing
honestly,
earlier. That you know what I mean?
Should.
I'll fight you on Xena, Justin.
Yeah. I like Xena too.
Okay?
To be clear,
Xena was everything.
it
Xena
was
Warrior
good. It was
Princess?
good. It was just the comparison. So I don't know.
Okay. So okay, so let's start. Okay, we've done that. Let's talk about like the visuals then. Let's talk about the visuals. Like we touched a little bit on the CGI, which I mean, I think it's pretty good. Like this is the one thing I was going to say. I'm watching the show. There's nothing that's like taking me out of the story. There's not even costume wise. There's nothing that's making me go, oh my God, this is so bad. Like, I haven't had any of that happen. So for me, it's pretty solid. Like, I know Wheel of Time, some people had some issues with some of the things, the same thing. I didn't really have anything that kind of made me go, oh my God, like, you know what I mean? So visually speaking, what do you think of the show? And I don't know what the budget is like for Wheel of Time versus The Witcher. I'm sure they're probably similar, maybe.
I can find it.
Probably in the millions.
Witcher was 10 million an episode its first season.
Yeah, and whereas apparently Lord of the Rings is going to be like, I don't know, something ridiculous.
It's like space gold. It's like space gold.
Yeah,
it's not even
it's crazy.
Space gold.
Yeah,
so,
space gold.
I mean, for me, visually speaking, The Witcher is on the same level as Wheel of Time, like, visuals. I actually think the visuals in Wheel of Time are pretty amazing in some scenes. But so what about you, Tanya? What do you think about the show visually?
Visually, again, I had no complaints at all. Again, I squint when there's monsters because they frighten me, but so I can't really comment on those. But overall, I really, one of the things I like to see was the different Witcher coins hanging from that tree.
Yeah, that's kind of neat, right?
I thought that was a pretty cool detail, how you can kind of see the coin, like the design has changed over the time, like they update their logos.
Yeah. And then in each episode has its own like sort of graphic. Like, did you notice that compared to last season? That was kind of nice. A nice touch.
Yeah.
What about you, Nani? What about you? I think I'll go out of order this time. What do you really think of the visuals? We'll get to the costumes in a minute.
Yeah, I like the visuals. I really do enjoy that. The CGI for me is totally fine. It's not something I go, oh God, this is for sure a green screen. Didn't have any of those moments. And yeah, it's just like they spend a lot of money on their snow budget, I think.
Yeah.
A lot of snow, and it was really well made.
Yeah. Actually, like, so some of it, so they brought in snow. Well, I mean, I know Game of Thrones, they did that. They had a guy, right? You guys saw the behind the scenes for Game of Thrones, how they did the snow.
I wish I had a guy to bring in snow.
And wouldn't that be cool?
It's like outside my apartment.
We actually have, there's a company in Toronto that does fake snow. I remember because years ago I had a friend in college, she went and worked for them just on an internship, and that's what they do.
Why do you need fake snow in Canada? It's the land of always winter. It's crazy to me.
In the summertime, like if you're
summer. I don't want to hear it. It's ridiculous.
They also do rain machines. Like they'll do rain. It was cool. I was on a movie once where we had, rain. It was very cool. Rain machine.
Rain sounds cool, but I only need to see snow on one day a year. And after the 25th, it can fuck off back to the lands of always winter. No,
well, it is good that they're actually spending it on that type of snow. In the 80s, they used to have a snow budget that was a different type of snow. In Wheel of Time it's 10 million an episode as well, estimated 80 million for that season.
Sorry. So Justin,
I need you to not.
What's the budget for Wheel of Time versus the Witcher?
Actually, it's exactly the same. So it
is.
Yeah.
So I was okay. So yeah, because I said they're kind of like we know probably that House of the Dragon's budget is going to be quite a bit bigger, but Lord of the Rings sounds like, according to Robert from MD Geek, is going to be the biggest budget of any fantasy show ever on television. It's like $250,000 for a season, which is like out of this world outrageous.
So
like
much money.
It's a big name.
Yeah.
I can't even fathom what that looks like.
I can't even either. So apparently it's going to be amazing. So anyway, but I think I think the two of them, Tanya, I don't know if you feel that way, like Wheel of Time versus The Witcher. Do you feel that they're fairly, comparable?
I think so.
Quality wise?
Yeah, I definitely think so. I wish I had had more time to watch the episodes over again, but I do think that they're very comparable, quality wise, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay, so who wants to talk about costumes with me?
That's why
Well,
we're
actually,
here, isn't it?
I know. Well,
Why do you
before
think we
get to
came all
that,
this way, Heidi?
I just dragged you guys in here under the false pretense that we're going to talk about the show, so I can talk to you about the costumes. That's how I
will
work.
say my one complaint with
Yes.
costumes was I did not like the way they dressed Fringilla. I don't like the cut of her costumes. I feel like they could have been tailored better for her.
I agree. And she's a beautiful woman too. So it kind of felt like a lost opportunity. I mean, they did a great job with her hair and makeup.
I'm relying
They make her
on
look
Justin
so
for that.
old, and it's unnecessary.
Yeah. Well, it looks. Before we get right into the costumes, we're just going to say, Lady Starkle says, "What do you guys think of the song?" Like, Alicia, you wouldn't have heard it yet, but Yaskir's song. What do you think of it?
It's not as catchy as "Toss a Coin to Your Witcher."
Oh, yeah,
that's what I was going to ask. See, now it's in my head for the next year.
Yep. You're welcome.
Thanks, Tanya.
It's not
Appreciate that.
No, I literally still sing that in voice notes to one of my friends, just like randomly in the middle of the day. I sing that Toss a Coin song and just like send it to him as a voice note, just, to bother him. So it's not as catchy. And I feel like that song was annoying on purpose. I feel like Yaskir is supposed to annoy you. This season song, it just wasn't as catchy. But I liked hearing it because it was like kind of Yaskir giving his own exposition of what's been going on with him. Like, we now know he's pissed at Geralt, and it's been a bad time since he last saw him, and all these things going on. So I enjoyed hearing it, but it's definitely not as catchy because it's not in my head the way Toss a Coin just lives forever in your ears.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What about you, Nani? What did you think of it?
I found it pretty funny. I was like, oh my God, he's in love, and he was left at the altar, and he's so sad. I thought it was genius. I really like, but it's also not very catchy. Like, I listened to that, and
he's a great performer though, that actor.
Yeah,
Joey.
It's a funny thing to think about. There's a lot of folks in the fandom that I saw complain about that song being stuck in their head. How do you think Yasker felt? That actor was singing that song for like 8 whole months before we heard it. It's probably still in his head right now.
Oh God, yeah. I had a song in my head. I don't know which one it was, but I had it in my head for 3 weeks. And that's actually, I would put that up there with torture. I could not get it out of my head. It's torture. So I can't imagine what it's like for a performer to have a song in their head.
It's like these artists that like their least favorite song is the one that makes them famous. And so they have to do it at every show, and they fucking hate that song.
Oh God.
Like Tina Turner hated What's Love Got to Do with It?
Oh, did she really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
wow.
And what song, when you think of Tina Turner, what song do you think of? What's Love Got to Do with It? And she had to do it at every show.
I saw her perform before that song came out. So
I actually think about
Proud
Thunderdome.
Mary was the song, the big song.
Thunderdome.
Yeah,
and it was
song
amazing.
She did for Thunderdome. That's one of my favorite Tina Turner songs.
Yeah. Thunderdome is amazing. I love that song. Okay, so I'm going to go in order of the characters for costumes, just because Justin's got the pictures. Is that okay if I do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're going to start with Geralt. And can you guys see the pictures up on the screen as he's sharing them?
I've got YouTube up, so
there'll be like a 10-second delay, but
yeah. So Geralt, what do you guys think? I mean, it's pretty, like, part of his outfit is from what I can tell, is the same from last season, like just his basic shirt and pants.
Yes. The six-pack armor, though.
Okay, so the armor. So there's a change in the armor. So if anybody doesn't know this, there's a change in the costume designer, and he didn't return. Some people said he was fired. I had an interview with him. That wasn't my understanding. But I don't know why he would be fired just over the Nilfgaardian armor. That doesn't make sense to me. So
he was fired due to that rope dress.
He might have been fired because of the rope dress, but even
who approved the rope dress?
But the showrunner approved it. So if it's anybody's fault, it's her fault.
Yeah. How do you fire the costume designer for that?
Like you approved it. You didn't like it, then you shouldn't have fired him. You shouldn't have fired him for that. But anyway, So there's a new costume designer. So we have some things that have changed. So like here's the armor difference. So what do you guys think of the old armor versus the new armor? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What y'all think?
It looks more seasoned, at least what was around Geralt. It looks like he's getting ready to go into a harder battle. So of course, when that happens, when your enemies upgrade, you have to upgrade too, or you die. So the armor that he's got on there, that looks like it's made to handle a lot more blows, probably more deadlier blows because it's leather versus metal. So
Well, it's
I
still
like it.
leather. It's
still
just
leather.
Is it?
queer.
Is that
it's
hard
queer-
leather?
It's
Hard
queer
leather.
bouillie, boiled leather, and but someone said they didn't like the molding, like that they put the.
That's
there's
what
no
I was
nipples,
gonna
though.
say.
They gave him the
That's what I
Superman
was just-
abs.
Batman vibe.
That's what I was about to
There's no
say.
nipples.
It's, at least it doesn't have nipples.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say that. It's
I was
just
gonna
missing the
say.
nipple.
I was gonna say, why does your armor need abs?
Yeah, the six pack is totally
Dude,
not
you have the
necessary.
abs.
At least it's not nipples, yes, but there's just no reason for your armor to need abs.
Very true.
Mhm.
Very true.
That's kind of, it's a little weird. Like,
My
are you
thing
trying
is
to
always
decide?
why
Yeah.
rivets? Why rivets? Like they're not even where the riveting position
Right.
is.
It's just for,
Like it's
for
trim.
fashion. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
And
riveting trim.
for
And it-
Yeah,
beauty.
you would think a witcher would be more practical and less fashionable.
Mhm.
Fair enough.
And then
Some
nothing
monks
on the
said
bottom.
it's cheap fantasy armor. And
Yeah,
why
and then-
don't they
and-
ever cover their legs?
They never cover their legs. Yeah.
Because
I don't
it has
understand that.
thighs of steel.
He has, yeah. He's Superman. He
I'm
literally is
sorry, I forgot
Superman.
about the thighs of steel. My bad.
You see those
Henry
thighs?
Cavill
My
is
God.
Superman.
I see them, I just don't see them like you see them.
Man.
Yeah, 30 days that they add the abs for texture because it looks good in the light, I guess, with the light and the shadow.
I think
But
he
you
gives his armor abs because of his abs. He molds his armor.
He did.
It's
They might have
actually
even
skin
have used
tight.
his own body to make that.
Henry
Like they
Cavill's
cast
the
it
shit.
on him.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, speaking of abs, okay, were you guys not completely shocked when Yaskier went to have a bath?
Yes, there's
Oh, does
bodies
Yaskier
there.
have body?
Yes, it has
What?
body.
Why
on
not?
Yasker's
there.
got body? Okay.
He's been
Okay.
working out with Henry
Wow.
Cavill.
I respect a good Abler. All right. I will be looking for that.
Okay, so Henry Cavill, so he just had that one change, and his wig I thought looked good. I thought his makeup looked good. You know, I didn't have any nothing again really took me out of it.
I think he really pulls off Geralt and everything.
Oh,
he
he's
does.
amazing. I
Like
think he's
he's
amazing.
such a fan of the source material, and he takes all of that knowledge into it. And you can clearly tell he was made for that. So I'm digging everything he does.
Yeah. And I thought his wig looked good. Like sometimes there's a few wig issues in the show, but his wig I always thought looked really, really good.
I do wish that they had made his hair more white than gray.
Mm.
Yeah. I was wondering if that might have been like color toning, you know, do you think maybe, or is that actually gray and not white?
Well, I'm looking at the picture now and you can see like little bits of black in it. And, you know, I just feel like he's referred to so much as like white wolf, white hair, this. So I would expect much an unusual white hair, not like the regular gray you would see on anybody who goes gray.
He
Yeah.
should look more Targaryen.
Yeah, it should look like more Targaryen white instead of, you know,
Like
gray
Nanny's
that-
beard white.
yeah,
Yes.
instead of like a gray that you
Geraldine's
would
beard.
see on a regular person. I feel like it should have
Yeah.
been like an
Indeed.
unnatural
Mhm.
or like almost otherworldly type of white hair for so many people to keep commenting on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so what about Siri? So she's had, she has a few looks. One of the things I did like is that there's not too many costumes. Like there's a reasonable amount of costumes as opposed to something like Rain, which, she's just got this, so many costumes, or, some of these shows where there's like a costume change every episode. I kind of liked it. There was some carry through and even some from last season. So what did you think of Siri's outfits in this?
I loved her first stole.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely loved it.
It was
made
kind
me
of
want
Sansa
one.
Stark.
Yeah,
like a
it
Sansa
made
Stark
me-
stole.
it made me
I was gonna
want
say
one.
I don't have that. I don't even know what that word means. Can y'all explain, please? I'm not a costume.
It's like a
person.
wrap.
Your dead animal.
The fur thing.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a
Okay.
word, wrap a dead animal around your body.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it can be a stole can also be made out of feathers, or it could be like, it doesn't have to, yeah, it's usually made of an animal of some kind though. Like a boa, sometimes it's called like a fur boa is called a stole. I don't know. So, but a stole can also, a stola is also a wrap. So it's like a wrap fur. I did this is sort of a bit of my Game of Thrones complaint. I did at times think, okay, these people are not dressed warm enough. Like, where are your gloves? You know, why are you not wearing a hat?
For being in the north.
They didn't know winter was coming, though, to be
My
fair.
usual complaint. Like,
The north always knows.
They didn't know.
Yeah,
They had no
like-
warning.
Like, I understand the working outside because, you know, I know, when you work outside, you get really hot. And so you may not need to have full coverings, but when you're traveling, that's the time that I think you really do need to be dressed warmer. And so that was one of my, I would say, how old's the princess supposed to be? She's like 16. That's what
she
30
looks
Days is
now.
asking.
So
I think she's
I
supposed to be
hope so.
about 16, isn't she?
I don't know how old she's supposed to be in the books.
Okay. Because we know that she has her blood, as the Game of Thrones would describe it, because there's a reference to that. So we know she has her blood. So she's at least 14.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Sorry, Justin. What did you think of the white dress? The white dress that's given to her
I thought it was
that
creepy.
she's wearing here in
I
this
thought
picture.
it was creepy as hell.
You thought the
Creepy.
dress was creepy?
No,
Yeah,
the person
whole
that gave it
gesture
to
with
her
the white
was
dress.
creepy.
I thought this
Oh,
guy
the
was
gesture.
Like, oh, no, I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
turn
like what
into
you see this little preteen girl come to your house and let me give her this pretty dress after she showers.
He didn't
No,
give it to
sir.
her. But he didn't give it
Okay,
to her.
see,
He just,
you know, okay, you're
pretended
right.
He did. He just pretended.
But
he
that
did 'cause
makes
he
it
didn't
even
wanna
more
admit.
creepy. That makes it even
Did
more
you
creepy that the weird
recognize him?
vampire chick did
Oh,
that.
30 days.
him?
I think she's in like her late, I
Mm-mm.
think she's probably like 19 or 20. She's like, you know, she's
How
an
old the
adult.
actress is not being taken into account.
Yeah.
How
She
old the
just turned
character
20.
is what I'm
She just
taking
turned
into
20.
account.
In the books,
Yeah.
she's 11, 12, but in the series, they're saying she's supposed to be anywhere from 13 to 17.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the gown, I just thought the gown looked like traditional medieval, like it had that sort of classic medieval kind of princess look. So I thought it suited her. You know, I said on social media, I thought it was pretty. And I think her hair with the braids looks really pretty. Like, you know, there was nothing I wasn't like, wow, that's amazing. But at the same time, I thought it was nice.
AAU.
I was impressed.
Oh, hi,
that she
AU.
was. I was
Now
impressed
what
that
about
she
her?
was-
What about her other outfit? Like she's got the, you know, her, she's got a couple. She's got a workout outfit. She's got her, you know, training outfit. I should say she's got that other little leathery outfit. What were your thoughts?
I
on
dug
that?
her training outfit.
You liked her?
She,
Yeah,
she
you
looked
liked it.
very much like she did in the video game from that. So I appreciate
Absolutely,
it.
yes. Yeah. Any other comments about Siri?
I was impressed that she kept up with her hair while on the road.
Yeah. Without a handmaiden to do
Yeah.
it for her.
And it wasn't like a full blowout though. She just kept it neat looking. It didn't look like she walked out of a salon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they did have a reasonable amount of dirt on her too. So it's not like she was always pristine and everything. I think they did a pretty good job at keeping her, you know, somewhat
Looking like
dirt.
she's you know been weathered through the
Yeah,
woods
she's been
and
weathered.
horrible weather.
It's really nice to see AU here. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Mhm.
Okay. So Yennefer, like we were talking about this rope dress or whatever. So Yennefer ends season 2 in this rope dress, and then she starts she ends season 1 in a rope dress and starts season 2 in it, and she's in it for a long time.
Yes.
So Nani, you don't like that dress, is that
I
correct?
hate that dress.
Fucking
I
hate,
hate
that
that dress with all my
I
my
need to
heart
see
and
it.
my
I don't
being.
remember it.
And the power of Jesus and anime. It's like, oh God, please someone burn that dress. Just erase
Yeah.
it from my memory. I want to bleach my eyes. So much I hate that dress.
Yeah,
Oh,
we were
this
kind of
dress.
like talking about it last year that I think part of it was the rope itself was just too heavy, and
Yeah.
he was inspired by this other designer and who
Yes, you showed me the
Yeah, and she was
inspiration,
actually really
her
upset
dresses are
about
so beautiful, and then
yeah, they're beautiful.
this-
yeah.
that
I think she's a Brazilian designer.
yeah. No, I think
So-
she's Australian, isn't she?
Oh, is she? Sorry. Okay, you're right.
I
I'm
think
probably-
she's
I don't know.
Australian. but I'm not sure.
Yeah. So that anyway, so they had to carry, but the designer had to carry it over because of continuity. So she's in this for quite a while until I think then when does she get out of it? When she arrives at Arutsia or something. She arrives somewhere in Santivia says, I hated that dress. The rope dress, yuck.
Probably the worst of her costumes.
Yeah, I think so. And it was on a weird base too. It was on some kind of base. So it was one of those things. I think it was like a good idea, but then the execution of it was not good. Did you recreate that though, Nani?
Not yet. I will
Are you thinking about
a decent version of the rope dress?
The infamous Skiski? How do you say your name? The infamous Kiki. I don't like any of Yen's outfits. Do you mean from season 1 or from season 2? I have to say, there's nothing that I've seen of hers this year that I'm like, wow. Like everything, I'm kind of like, like it's okay.
Yeah, it was okay. Last season, I really like her laser cut leather dress.
Yeah,
that was for me my favorite one. And this season, I was like, oh, this a little bland. Maybe because she is bland in the season. I don't know.
The thing I like the most of her on this season is that purple robe that she wore. The hooded cloak. That's the thing I like the most on her this year, where she's in disguise. Although I don't even know where she got it from. They found
very Sarah Sanderson.
Robes. What's that?
Very Sarah Sanderson.
Yeah. And they seem to be giving her purple. Like I noticed that she has like in one of her other dresses, she's got purple as a lining. So I don't know if there's a reason.
I think her eyes are color. Her eyes are purple in the book, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things I said to Jack. Are her eyes purple this year? Like I couldn't tell.
They were.
It's just hard to tell, like with the lighting. I could not see.
It's like they I don't know. The contact lenses the actors are wearing are really, really weird. Like Geralt, when he has no facial expressions in his eyes because the contact lenses are so pungent in the color. Like mine are weird. Of course, it's a cat thing and it's kind of turning to the wrong side. But like he mixed his face. Like he has this constant look of surprise. Although I think he was trying to look angry or something. I don't know what the contact lenses are doing with their faces. It's really weird.
Well, like when he takes the potion, they turn black, right?
Yeah.
And then I didn't mind his, but I was like, because last season she had this really amazing eye makeup, this purple eye makeup, which I loved. But this year I'm like, is she even wearing contacts? It doesn't even look. So anyway, so they have this bit of purple on her. And then also on Triss, so I wasn't really sure what the purpose of it. So I guess it was to pick out her eyes, but it didn't really work for me. I couldn't see it.
There's no royalty with the purple in this universe,
That's what I was thinking too, because they're playing her as some type of royal figure that they're using purple. So that's supposed to be a royal color.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it didn't really. I couldn't figure it out. Like it didn't really work for me. But I did like that robe, that cloak though that she wore. Okay. So you guys okay, before we get to that, there's one dress that Yennefer is wearing when she's at Arutsia, where she gets into the water in that dress. What did you guys think of that weird dress that's off the shoulder? It's beaded. I said to Jack, I turned to him, I go, this looks like something that an actress would wear or a model would wear in a Chanel No. 5 ad. It just was really weird for me. Like it just didn't feel medieval. It didn't feel fantasy. Justin, do you have that picture of
I've got
her
it
off
up
the
right
shoulder
now. Yeah,
dress?
it's like it's a sexy little nightgown. You know what I mean? Like it's
like a beaded gown. There it is.
I haven't seen that scene yet, so I don't know the context, but I don't like that look.
It's kind of like, so it's beaded and it's got fringe, and it looks like a haute couture dress gown that you would wear in a Chanel No. 5 perfume ad for me. That's what it felt like. And I just was like, I don't understand why she's wearing this. And where did she get it from?
And I didn't understand the dress either. I didn't understand the dress is very pretty. It's very well made, but
it's a beautiful dress.
Yeah, but
it just didn't feel like it as Justin says, it didn't feel like it served the story.
It says because
it felt like it wasn't appropriate for that time period.
Yeah, it looks very contemporary, right?
Yeah.
Like she went to the red
He
carpet and
stole
they
it
got
from
it
someone
in a
bigger.
swamp.
Yeah. Someone said she stole it from someone bigger. That's why it's kind of like hanging off of her. Justin, you were saying that maybe it was because they wanted to show off her body a bit.
Well,
Like they
I
just
have
wanted
not
to have her
seen.
look sexy?
Well, I mean, I know that obviously
they done that, though?
I've seen the first season, not this season. That I don't know. Have you guys seen the pictures for the video game? I mean, like,
not
yeah,
a
I
lot of
have.
them, no.
I can put them up. It's interesting how they make their characters for this video game, and it was brought up because I remember like Princess and like Cooper and Mario, but these video game characters, I think they're going in a different direction. Hold on, I'll bring it up for you guys, see what you think.
AU says, sorry, I don't know what a porn dress looks like.
The lies you tell, sir.
Well, these are the characters. This is their video game. This is
You're not fooling us.
Oh my God, AU.
courtesy of
AU, this is a
IGN.
family-friendly show, except for the part where I use the F word. But other than that, yeah, there's Jennifer there. Well, they've totally gone with a different look for her.
Yeah,
I
like-
need to shave my beard because it keeps falling off. Just a second. Ow.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was a filter this whole time.
Yeah. Now-
Wearing a fake
Now, just to
plastic
clarify, I
beard.
just wanted to say when I spoke to the costume designer last year, he said they weren't allowed to use the designs from the game because of copyright. It's a different so
Interesting.
when they bought out the book rights, they were buying the book rights, but the video game rights are a different
Not the
thing.
visuals.
So they weren't. So yeah, that's why they weren't allowed to use the armors or the different costumes that were used.
The research that I did do for the video game, it was an issue with the sexualization of these characters, like the overt sexualization, as you can see on the screen. But
Yeah.
then the people that were funding the game said, yeah, that's what we're doing, and that's what we want to do. But yeah, there was actually the writer, the people that had the creative rights didn't really like the overt sexual. Come on, this is a little bit over the top. This is 2007 when this image came out.
But isn't that a video game trope anyway? To
It
have
is,
a
it is.
sexualization
Yeah.
of female
It's
characters.
just, there's not a lot of, no shame for these guys.
Oh, what happened to Geraldine? She's gone.
Yes, I had to shave my beard.
She had to shave.
Geraldine had to shave.
Yeah, it kept falling off.
It's okay. You still look great. Okay. So anyway, I guess from Yennefer we can move on. Yeah, but like I said, there was nothing really that I was like, oh, like that last outfit she wears where it's like black and then it's got some beading on it. And there's it was okay. It just, I wasn't like, oh my God. When we get to Triss, she's so far this season is my favorite, but okay. So Jaskier. Oh, what did you guys think of that? I'm not sure. A totally different, there's supposed to be a little bit of a time that's passed, but not that much time. How much time has passed between when we last saw him in season 1 versus how we're seeing him in season 2?
He says
According
it's
to
been
him
months.
was months, but
It's been months. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's grown out his hair, which is fine. But what do you think of the totally different kind of more swashbuckler kind of look, cavalier style?
I didn't like his jacket at all. It's like, what was that?
I can't remember.
It was
what
a
he was
cool
wearing.
jacket, but why?
Okay, for me, it didn't look like leather. It looked like plastic. It was too shiny. I was like, why is this so shiny? There's one point when he's bathing and Geralt is holding the jacket and it actually glows in the sun. I was like, what is with that jacket? Take some sandpaper to that thing.
Maybe they were going vegan leather.
I think I've seen some good vegan leather. It's really good leather, by the way, Nani, is salmon leather. I guess that's not vegan leather. But it's not
What
animal
is salmon leather?
It's still an animal. Sorry. That's not.
Yeah. Just,
Sorry. Okay. I'll take that back. Pineapple leather. Pineapple leather. Yes.
Oh, I saw a video about that, but I never got my hands on actual pineapple leather.
it's really hedgehog though. Don't let him fool you.
Anyway, so in season 1, they Jaskier is supposed to have a hat, and they tried hats, and they said it didn't work. So now they've come up with this cavalier hat for him, but he wears it very quickly and then he tosses it. So, what y'all think of it?
Is he
You
wearing
haven't seen it
eyeliner?
yet, Alicia, but that's the picture of it.
I think
I
we
thought
call that guy liner.
Guy liner. I
Yeah.
thought he looked a little bit ridiculous, but I feel like he's supposed to be ridiculous. So
He's a bard, yeah.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
and he's a particularly ridiculous bard.
And is his hair
Yeah,
his
he
real
is.
hair, or is that a wig? Because if it's a wig, it's a very bad wig.
I think it's a wig, and I think it's very
a wig.
bad.
It's terrible.
Yeah, see, that was his natural hair there. Like that looks like a wig.
Yeah.
And it's cut really weird. Like it looks like it's been cut like with a straight razor, like
Yeah.
Like, so I'm not really sure what's going on. And because he's kind of vain, it feels weird to me that his hair would look like that.
Yeah, it's not good.
Now, I don't mind the color, like that, because red seems to be a good color for the bard. Like I think that he seems to have a lot of red, like from last season. But just I don't know what is. And I didn't mind the shirt or the waistcoat or any of that stuff. Just that jacket, and then the things on the bottom reminded me. I don't know if you guys thought it reminded me of Jaime Lannister. The pleated leather. I'm like, that's Jaime Lannister's skirt. They stole Jaime Lannister.
Skirt.
It's like
Oh,
a
yeah,
Robin Hood rockabilly mix.
Yeah, Robin Hood. Yeah.
Oh,
And
I
again,
cannot
I mean,
unsee that
again, I'm
now
not
that
like-
you've named it.
No, again, I'm being, this is my critiquey thing, but again, it's not like I'm like, oh my God, this is ruined. It wasn't like, I love him, and they just went a completely different direction. It's like,
Yeah, it's gonna be a no for me, dog. Mm-mm.
you don't like it?
Randy.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Justin. I appreciate that.
Edward said he put on some muscles. He's not all bones. He is not all bones.
He's in The White Princess. He plays Edward Lancaster, and he plays a very cruel man. If you've ever seen The White Queen, he is the Mad Queen's son, Edward Lancaster. He's a big guy. Like he's not. He's
Well, how tall is he?
all these
Because
lead actors are like.
he looks like a little person.
But
Like,
that's God. That's God. Henry Cavill's like
that's
God.
compared to
I was gonna say,
Superman,
he's
though.
standing next to Henry Cavill the whole
Yeah.
time. It's like
Right.
most people look
Angel
tiny
over
next to him.
Angel over says
Yeah, you
he
can't
looks
do
like a
that.
middle-aged dad having a midlife crisis.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably like 5'10". Most leading men are like 5'10". You know this with big.
Unless you're Tom
big
Cruise.
head. Well, he's 5'2", along
Big
with
heads,
James
yes.
Rowland.
They always have such big heads.
Yep.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they
He
have big
looks for
heads.
me- with this
He
new
looks-
hair, he kind of looks like, what's the name of that weird YouTuber and the cat story? Jeffree Star's friend. What's his name? He has a cat named Cheeto, and everybody.
His face is in my head, and I
what's his
can't
name?
remember his name.
He
I
was
don't like either one of
canceled,
them.
and now he's back. Oh my God, what's his name?
Shane Dawson.
Shane Dawson. Yes, with this new hair, he looks like Shane Dawson.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's such a disservice to him. No,
Oh
don't
my
do that.
God,
No.
It is awful. Look at that. Look at that. It's
Oh, damn it. I can't unsee it. You're right.
yes, it's Shane Dawson.
Oh, you are totally right. Damn.
I've heard of him. I'll have to look it up after.
No, you
So we're
don't.
gonna try-
Mm-mm.
we're gonna-
You're not missing anything.
Okay, we're gonna try and get through this because we're gonna try and wrap things up about 7:30. If that's okay with everyone.
Yep.
Sure.
Okay, so let's go to Vesmir, and then we can also talk about Lambert and Cohen. They were just introduced this season. It's the first time we've seen their characters. I thought they were great. I thought they looked really good. What did you all think of their characters, Vesmir? And then the other guys that are at the stronghold. What do they call that, Tanya, again? The
Kaer Morhen.
Yeah. So what did you think of those, those good old boys characters, their costumes? There's Vesmir.
Who's the
there.
red-haired guy? Was his hair
Oh, I
red
like
or
him.
just
Yeah.
really
Lambert.
brown?
Is he Cohen?
Lambert. I liked
Lambert.
him.
That was Lambert.
Yeah.
I thought for a second I was gonna hate him after he started trying to like taunt Siri, but no, he was actually just being
There
the
he is.
ridiculous older brother character and actually trying to help her move forward a little faster. So yeah, I like him.
Thanks, 30 days. Yeah, no, I thought their costumes were good. Again, there's a lot of leather, a lot of studded leather, blah 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 blah. But no, I thought they were pretty good, and I thought their wigs looked good. If they're wigs, facial hair, all that, like his. Yeah.
I thought Vesemir's wig was a little bit troubling.
Yeah. Vesemir. And again, because that's like, he has a very kind of high forehead with a bit of a peak, I
Widow's
think.
peak, yeah.
Widow's peak. So that's that's much more difficult than just having it kind of go over your forehead. Yeah, there he is. It's quite an extreme. Whereas the redheaded guy, it's kind of like messy. So you can kind of, that may even be his own hair.
It's Count Tormund.
Oh, I was gonna say earlier about the what was his name? The guy who got turned into the boar in the first episode. Like,
oh
that
yeah,
I recognized him really quickly.
What's that?
Yeah.
Who was he in Game of Thrones?
Tormund.
He's Tormund, Giantsbane.
Shut up! That was not Tormund.
It was. It was
What?
totally him.
And I recognized him really quickly, and I kept saying, "Is that Tormund under there?" And then I looked it up, and I was like, "Oh my god, how did I recognize him as a boar?" It's just something about the way he talks.
Yeah,
I did not recognize that at all. Wow.
They do show him just very quickly at the end, but if you weren't thinking that's
yeah,
Tormund,
even at the end,
he didn't
it's
have a
the beard. I
and
guess.
that's
Yeah,
why.
I'm not used to seeing him clean shaven.
Right. He has a great jawline. He shouldn't hide it under all that beard.
Oh, 30 Days thinks that the older guy, Vesemir, should have been older. How old is he supposed to be? Because that actor's got to be like 60, I think.
He was old.
Yeah, he's super old, right?
He's supposed to be really old?
Yeah.
Okay.
But don't Witchers age differently, though?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, I think they probably took that into account. I mean,
Yeah,
and for a show where they're supposed to show how powerful they are as fighters, I think they have to keep him looking the way he did, I think.
There's Tormund.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that was that's full pretty much full prosthetics there, that whole thing. So except for the eyes.
He dated a bear, so you know what I mean? He's just an animal type of guy.
He is.
Typecast as an animal. They're like, you're just like an animal. He's like, yep.
Alicia says
he does have
Alicia says she's in the mood to do a tipsy stream. We could do a tipsy stream later. Oh, Vesemir's supposed to be like 300. Okay. So, but the actor, I would say, is in his 60s.
Yeah, you'd have some legal issues if you tried to push that.
Okay. So, all right. So I was saying Triss this season is my favorite costume. I don't know if you guys agree. Her green dress, I thought was amazing. It's kind of like a side.
Is there a picture of that, Justin?
Yeah, you should have one.
I got it.
Justin, you have it. She arrives actually in a different dress, like it's an embroidered dress, which is really pretty as well. With like she has a green cloak with a purple lining, but then she changes, and even Siri says, "Oh, I like your dress," and she says, "Thank you," which is a good point there, Siri. It was a very nice dress. So that's my favorite dress of the season.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It is really beautiful. Yeah. So
And
that was her last
that.
season. And
that looks really nice against her skin tone.
Now, I think here in this picture from last season, I think that's the actress's real hair because I saw her in a fitting. So they decided to put her in a wig this year. They put her in a red wig. I think that's her real hair.
I think she's supposed to be a redhead.
Well, I think there were complaints about that, right? That she was supposed to be a redhead and she didn't have red hair.
Yeah.
Justin, do you have a picture of her in the green?
I like her costumes, but I hated what they did to her character.
Oh yeah, you didn't like her character?
No, they did. Triss is kind of like super woman in the games. She's very like a very strong lady, and in the series she's like me. Oh, now I'm scarred. Oh, now I don't know. Oh, ooh. Oh, you're the child or whatever. I cannot say much words to represent what I'm trying to say because of spoilers, but it's
yeah. So the infamous Kiki thinks this season that wig is ugly. Justin, do you have that picture? Oh, okay, thanks. These are from last season. Yeah, so Triss has red hair. So I think so I don't know what happened. Again, this is a disconnect between the showrunner for season 1 and season 2. Like, it's her, it's her thing. Like they approved her hair last season and now they've changed it.
They could have, I think they could have easily kept the hair color for season 1. They just needed to make it the right shape.
I don't know. Oh, I sent you one that you don't have the one I sent you. Oh, okay. Thanks. Okay. So yeah, so that like, this is the dress here. You can see it. And it's just like, I just love it. It's a really interesting cut, and it's got like the seaming on it is really cool. And then it's sort of like at that sideless gown sort of look with the laces. And then it's got a beautiful undergown, which I just love. I just think it's amazing. Here it is. But the wig, it looks like a wig. That's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Very much so. Yeah.
Yeah, they could have
so
put a
crazy.
rinse
And
in
she
her hair,
already
like I
had
was
that
saying.
nice flowing hair. Like, why not just dye her hair?
I don't know.
Maybe
So when
didn't-
she
maybe
walked in,
didn't
I'm
wanna
like,
be a
wait a
redhead.
second. Like,
Or-
I don't, when she
true.
walked in, I'm like, what is going on? Because it's only supposed to be like, she's, basically recovered from the Battle of Sodden. And then she's recovered, and now she shows up and she's got totally different hair. So did she glamour her hair or something? Can they do that?
Maybe she got wounded and her hair turned red because her wounds. I don't know.
But it's like a good
It's
a good
blonde
12 inches
hair.
longer.
Maybe
Just
it's
for plot reasons.
maybe it's
Yeah.
Maybelline. Is
I
that
think,
possible?
I think we're just supposed to pretend not to notice.
We have to pretend not to
Mhm.
notice.
Suspend
Yeah.
your disbelief.
Cloth
Yeah.
hair.
It's just always so strange to me when I see something with a budget like this with the wigs, when the wigs aren't
And they
good,
slack on that. Yeah.
because I've seen like regular people with amazing wigs,
Yeah.
and like with the way people use lace now for like lace front wigs and things like that. Like I've seen absolutely regular people with these amazing wigs, and I'm like, why can't, like, you have so much budget, just it's under
Yeah,
Cute
no, I know.
almost
Spending
every
it all on
contestant on
Henry.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
And
right.
yeah, they're spending it all on Henry. That's why some of the costumes look so cheap and the hairs are weird.
Yeah.
So it's like budget allocation in this series is weird. And
Yeah,
Snow,
like and wigs. Yeah, I mean, wigs
Yes.
are not easy. I mean, on Game of Thrones, each wig was like $6,000. So it was like,
Yet
that
they
could be.
still couldn't give Rhaegar a better wig than that.
Well, I don't think his wig was $6,000.
No, his wig was not $6,000.
because like Daenerys had 3, and they were each 6,000. But like more the minor day players, probably
their
probably
wigs
might
came
have been
from Sally
$500
Beauty
or
Supply.
something. Yeah, they got it at Party City, right?
You're probably right. You're probably right.
Yeah, and someone was saying about the eyebrows. By the way, Ciri's eyebrows, someone pointed this out. So last season she had bleached eyebrows, and then this season they've drawn in her eyebrows. Did you notice that? I was like,
that's
what is going on with the eyebrows?
That's disappointing. All this money and you can't give this girl proper eyebrows.
Well, I just don't know why. Again, it's like,
I feel like bleached eyebrows never work, because
They
that's what happened with Thor. When we
Yeah,
first
they make
see
you look
Thor, he has these
weird.
bleached eyebrows and they look super weird. And then after the first Thor movie, he doesn't have bleached eyebrows anymore because everyone dragged it.
Yeah, it'd be like, imagine if Daenerys Targaryen, they had bleached her eyebrows, Emilia
She would have
Clarke.
looked crazy.
It would have looked crazy. Exactly.
they did it in the first season though. She had bleached eyebrows in the first season.
She did?
Yes.
Really?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And
I
I
have
was
to go
like,
back and
why
look.
did they do that? And then like from season 2 onwards, then it wasn't normal, and it was
They
like,
Yeah.
kept them dark.
Well, I know.
See, and I
Peter
question
Dinklage's
why they
hair-
couldn't get her. Go ahead, Heidi.
Oh, sorry. I was just gonna say. I know Peter Dinklage's hair got. Did you notice it got progressively? Actually,
Like
everyone's hair
red?
got progressively darker.
Mm.
Like Jamie
Like, he started as a
Lannister.
blonde, and then it was
It
like,
got
okay.
progressively to his actual hair tone.
to his actual hair color,
Yeah.
and then
Like they
even,
got tired of making wigs for him.
and
like
even
Ja-
Nikolai Coster-Waldau, his hair started off like glorious, like the Golden
Right.
Lion, and then
He
by
wasn't
like
blonde
season
at all
3,
by the end.
they cut it all off.
Yeah.
And it was gray, and I'm like, oh, that's
Like-
really disappointing.
Like, where is the super sexy fighter that's supposed to still be in the game with his character? It's absurd. Baby! Forget what I was gonna say. I see a tiny human.
You saw that.
Okay, so
Look at his little head.
now I was just going to touch on Tisea. She just basically is, for the most part, wearing her clothes from last year, right? Like I was like, that's from
think
last
so.
season. That's from last season. That's from last
Oh.
season.
I would say it's maybe replicas because she's a fair bit taller than she was last season.
Tisea, she grew taller.
It looks like she's taller to me. I mean, I could
Maybe
be wrong.
She's wearing heels.
She's a grown woman. How could she have grown taller?
How are you talking about
Are
Siri?
you saying I have a chance?
Tisea. Am I saying her
Oh,
right?
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
I looked at the screen and I saw Siri there, so that's what I thought you
Oh,
were
there's a
talking
little
about.
bit of a delay. That's why.
Okay.
Oh,
My bad.
sorry. Yes, sorry. The one that Justin's showing right now is Francesca. She's the elf.
Yeah, that was a correction from earlier because I had to say it up as the elf. And again, I've not seen the second season. My apologies. That is the elf queen that I just had up. Steven Stark pointed it out, so I wanted to amend that. Sorry
Danny
about
was
that.
really tan though, so it didn't look that bad. Yeah. Jess says you can have darker eyebrows compared to your hair, but they need to be the right tone. I think that's true.
The right shape. That I agree.
I mean, because the actress who plays Siri is blonde.
Yeah,
So
my cousin's very fair. She spent a lot of money getting cosmetic, like her eyebrows pretty much tattooed on. Like,
yeah, I mean that's sort of the fashion I think now is to have like contrasting eyebrows. I think.
Yeah, Children of the
perhaps.
Corn isn't always a good look, you know.
Oh, Jamie loses his hair in the books and looked wrecked. Well, okay, I can't comment on that.
But I mean, in the show, he just suddenly has really dark hair.
Really darker hair, yeah.
His accent
Just came out of
too.
nowhere.
Okay.
Yeah, you notice how almost everybody dropped their accents at the end.
Oh yeah, totally.
They just
Oh,
Exactly.
that's absurd.
By the way,
They just
I just
gave up.
rewatched Elf, and Peter Dinklage is a riot in that. If you guys want a holiday movie, you got to watch that because he's so
Elf?
funny in that.
Is Peter
In
Dinklage
Elf,
in Elf?
yeah.
It's
Peter
been a while
Dinklage-
since I've seen that movie.
Peter
I haven't seen
Dinklage
that in
plays
a
the
while.
children's book author. Oh my god, it's so funny. Yeah. So if anybody wants a fun Christmas show to watch,
Justin?
you can watch that.
AU was asking if you saw season 1.
Of what is he? Yeah, is he asking about Game of Thrones or season 1 of?
I assume he's asking about The Witcher.
Yeah. Yes, I
Jess
watched season
says that Francesca was weird, but at least she had big eyes. Yeah, they did a good job on her eyes. Justin, do you have that picture back of Francesca? She's the elf girl with the she's got ears and then she's got the elf
She looks like
ears.
an elf. I got.
It looks like an elf, and she's wearing a blue kind of dress gown.
Yeah.
She's the one I was talking about. She could put a plate of,
hold on.
snacks on her stomach.
Yeah, I'm getting to her. I had to amend that.
Heidi, I
so-
have to show you
Here
a
we
picture
go.
of what my stomach looked like so you can see.
Oh yeah, for
that
sure.
It looked so fake. So fake.
I believe that
No,
this.
I met this woman the other day who was like full 2 months pregnant, and I'm like, she wasn't even as big as that. Maybe I was lower. I think I must have. Oh, there she is. Yeah. So I don't know. I thought this was kind of a pretty costume. Francesca.
That's fun to say, Francesca.
Francesca. There she is. Kind of the blue greens. Now the elves this season, the elves, sorry, they've done a completely different design on them. They changed it. Like last season, they were kind of more organic looking. And I guess because they were living in hiding or whatever, now they have them in more like kind of human style clothing, like luxury fabric type clothing.
Which is weird for them to pick up while they're on the road.
Mhm.
I mean, for them being elves,
Yeah.
Just I don't like the direction I see their current queen going in, but I guess I'll see what happens when I watch the rest.
Yeah.
Heidi, you have more background information on this. Do you know why they changed the Nilfgaardian testicle armor to the new one? Aside from the fact
So
that
many
it was
people
so ugly.
complained about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I
they
think
don't
there was-
give a reasoning in the series. I didn't catch that.
No.
No.
It's
You
funny
just
because I was looking
pretend not
at
to
this
see it.
picture. I thought that they might have like changed it in the field to have it look like they were in different armor, but no, they had them in the old armor dead in the field.
Yeah.
And then they kind of like suddenly have new armor. Now, according to the showrunner last season, she said that the armor is supposed to evolve over the time.
Uh-huh.
As they become stronger, their armor evolves, but it just, I don't know how it would go from that one armor to this other armor. But again, like, I'm like, she's the one who approved it. According to the designer, they were really rushed when they did the season 1 armor. So they had to, they had a very, like, I think they had 6 weeks to turn it around.
Yeah, but this is no excuse for a testicle, seriously.
I didn't personally, everyone, there's a lot of people who hated on it. I didn't mind it. Because I thought it kind of looked like, it reminded me of Christopher Walken from, what's the name of that movie? Where he is a Sleepy Hollow. Kind of reminded me of that. It had that kind of organic, comes from the earth. And that's what Tim said he was going for. But yeah, I guess it came off looking like
I forgot he was in that movie.
What's that?
I said, I
yeah,
forgot he
he's
was
the
in that
Headless
movie.
Horseman. Or is that a spoiler?
Yeah.
Sorry if that's a spoiler. But he had that. Yeah. so he
Isn't
had
that
kind of
movie like a
crinkly-
decade old?
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
You can't spoil after
You
10
can't
years.
I know,
spoil my
exactly.
movies. Yeah.
People get weird though. You know, I was talking about the comment section before.
Well, I just had to
Wrinkled
approve a
testicle
lot of
armor.
testicle comments that talk about weird. Yeah, I just yeah. Approved, everybody. You're free. The water gate's open. All right, the floodgates are open. Floodgates are open for the testicle comments. Go at it.
So the so you can see the season 2 one versus the season 1. So I don't know if I'm like, you know, the season 2 kind of looks like, you know, again, sort of that tropey video game fantasy armor kind of thing. It kind of has that look to, although on screen it looked pretty good. Like in that picture it looks a little bit weird, but on camera I thought it looked pretty good. It has a bit of a Roman sort of.
I think I like season 1's look better.
They're both ridiculous.
Yeah, I didn't mind season 1, but I didn't see it as testicles, so maybe that's why. Maybe if someone had told me that ahead of time and then I went to watch it, I'd be like, oh my god, I can't get that out of my head. But when I went in watching it, I thought, oh, it looked like kind of crinkled leather. I didn't mind it so much. So, and then all this ball sack comments were coming out, and I was getting so many ball sack comments on one of my videos. I actually had to put it into my banned words so that I wouldn't get all these ball sack.
And ball sacks are notoriously a weak spot on a man, so maybe you might not want to make your armor. You know what I mean?
Justin knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, not great. Not a great idea. They're maybe like you know, I don't know. It seems like they had a very enthusiastic idiot. Because everything is like a lot of work to do those armor. That's a lot of work to make that armor that's like so inept. It's not going to work.
Yeah. And they had to make a lot of it, right?
Yeah.
They had to because they had all the background people. So I don't know. That's all in a dumpster somewhere. That's like, you know.
Oh my god.
Very enthusiastic,
or
not too
maybe
bright.
they sold it on eBay and got their money back. One of the things I have to say about Kahir, by the way,
armor.
I love Kahir, by the way. I love him. But his hair at one point, like he looked kind of like Liberace, like it looked like they teased it and sprayed it like to like a stiff like helmet style. Like I'm like, what is with his hair there? You know the scene where he's well, Alicia won't, but you know the scene where he picks a fight with one of the elves. He's like, oh, here, let me sword fight with you, and he's wearing that robe, and then he's got like this hair. It's like they've teased it, back combed it, and then maybe because he's thinning a bit, and then they kind of put some spray and it looks like a helmet. Like I was like, that is really bad. Like I preferred his hair just being kind of a little bit wild. Do you guys have any comments on that? Or is that just me?
You can't get any more intimidating than a Liberace testicle. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like they just did everything they could to make that not intimidating. They're like, yeah, I don't know, maybe Liberace. They're like, all right, good, we're good to go.
Edward said, I think he's referring to Francesca. A robe reminds me of Persian robes. Yeah, like of Francesca. So, I mean, they've kind of tried to give them, the elves at any rate. They have like a bit of I think there is some definite influence, other cultures. But did we end up talking before we finish off about Fringilla? Because
her outfit. I was
complaining
that they weren't cut well.
I was fine with pretty much all the silhouettes that we saw in the show, but that silhouette did not work for me.
No, it's ugly. It's square. It makes her old and fat.
It's frumpy. Everything they've put her in has made her very frumpy.
Yeah.
Well, that robe she wore for the Battle of Sodden, like both, I was talking to Asun, who's one of my friends online. I've never met her, but she is my friend. I can say that without a doubt. And her and I were talking about it, and we hated that cloak she was wearing. Like, we were like, what is with that cloak? It's so bad.
It's like she's hiding a pregnancy.
Exactly. And then they sort of juxtapose it with this weird, like, Elizabethan style thing. And she's not even wearing a proper foundation garment under it. And it's like, it's kind of ill-fitting. So I didn't really like it at all. There it is. Yeah. The collar, the way they decorated is nice, but again, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, the embroidery is beautiful. It's just
the embroidery is kind of pretty.
No.
You don't like it?
Mother of the bride.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then, you know, and they always put her in gray. Is that like, again, like, so we've got her, she's in gray, and they've got, you know, and then we have Yennefer's in black, and I don't know. So I'm not really sure what's going on with the colors, if this is a book thing or what have you, but it doesn't really make sense to me. story wise. So there's Kahir in the new armor. So like on camera, it looked pretty decent. And I guess they gave him the wings again.
Yeah, his
They gave the
feathered
wings,
helmet.
his helmet and the
Yes.
plume.
Yeah.
Because actually Siri makes a comment about how she wants to get that guy who has the feathers in his helmet.
It looks like
Yeah.
she
He's
could have
got,
actually
he's got a
been
mace
pregnant.
plume.
Yeah, I don't think it's very flattering.
The actress might have been actually with child actually during filming.
Kiki's saying she was.
Oh, she was?
Well, so okay,
Could
that
be.
makes sense then, because
Yeah.
I said it looked like they were hiding a pregnancy.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they were doing. So
And
yeah.
that's
All right.
exactly
Well, I know,
what it
but-
was.
You know, but like
Oh,
Lena
well,
Headey was pregnant.
well guessed.
Lena
it
Headey
is
was pregnant in
so.
season 1 and nobody knew that. Like you can't tell she was pregnant.
I don't know. I think it's a slippery slope to get into that.
Now to be fair, the shot that is here is a behind the scenes shot. It's not actually like on camera. Like so.
I couldn't find anything that wasn't behind the scenes for these guys. Like unless I did screen
Yeah.
grabs. I don't know what's with that.
Yeah, because there weren't any full shots of her, so it's possible that they didn't ever have a full shot of her just to try and hide the pregnancy. Might have been.
Then that makes sense.
Angela says, "I like the embroidery on Frangella's outfit."
Yeah, but then at least, okay, you're trying to hide a pregnancy, but at least make her tatas look beautiful.
Yeah,
not like
she's not wearing a proper foundation garment.
no.
And I'm
it's
saying
like
this
just
as
a
someone who's
bob.
busty.
She has.
You would
one
think they would be
boob.
sitting up more instead of being pressed back the way it looks.
Yeah.
She has one boob. It's not flattering at all.
It's a uniboob.
Yes.
A uniboob. Yeah.
Some people like that, you know what I mean? It's cool.
Hi, some
people like 3. You never know.
I think that's Ian. I think Ian's here.
Caught
I
that
thought
Total
her
Recall
outfits looked the
reference.
same though. Yeah, so I'd like to know more about the color choices, like why, like she's in gray, and then we've got like I know from what I have read is that Yennefer does wear blacks and metallics or something, and then Ciri, I'm not really sure, blues maybe for her. Blue seems to be her color. I know that they did like the blue cape was like an Alice in Wonderland kind of thing, so that's why they went with the blue. But blue seems to be sort of her signature color. But I would like to know a little bit more behind the scenes why they chose some of the colors they chose, like the purple lining. I was like, why is there purple lining on Triss's cloak? I couldn't figure it out. So anyway, whereas in like something like Wheel of Time, everything is like, yep, that's the color. Yep, that's the color. Like Wheel of Time for me is like, oh yeah, yep. And I haven't read the books and I know exactly what's going on.
They have a color wheel on the
They
wheel
have
of
a
time.
color wheel.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
the wheel. Yeah, like they figured it out.
But without me even seeing that, I knew. Right? It's
Yeah.
very laid out. It's so easy.
The lighting's a lot better. It just clearly is. The production
And the
really,
lighting
yeah.
the lighting is better. So
Justin?
so before we
Kiki's asking if you had a picture of Frangella from season 1 by chance.
I can look one up really quick. Yeah.
I think we have
Sorry,
one of her
Heidi,
in
go
the
ahead.
cape. I think we have one of her in the cape.
Is
Oh,
that?
hi Ian. Yeah, it is Ian. What did she wear in season 1, Frangella? She's at the academy and she's wearing like the blue green, and then, but for the Battle of Sodden, she's wearing this really weird like
Cloak.
cloak.
a
I think
sack.
it's like velvet or something.
It looked like a sack.
All right.
It
I
did.
got
It was
Cut out.
really, really unflattering.
Circling back to the sack. All right, hold on.
Why isn't there purple in every cloak? Why isn't there purple lining in every cloak is my question.
This
there
is her
should
in
be
season
purple
1.
lining. There should be purple lining in every cloak. Well, Samuel L. Jackson has purple lining in all of his costumes, and
He had a
Unbreakable.
purple lightsaber too. George Lucas actually let him get a
I'll
purple
say that's
lightsaber.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No lightsaber was purple, but Samuel L. Jackson asked for it. It's on camera, him asking for it.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. See, it's kind of like really doesn't do anything for her, and you can tell too because like she's pregnant, like in season 2, so you can see there's a bit of a difference in her face as well. Oh, 30 Days says he thinks we need a part 2 stream. He says it's needed. We could do that.
Yes. I'd be down.
Okay. Yeah, that's hideous. So there were some hit and misses. For me, it was more hits though. yeah, it's just really weird. It's like velvet. If it is velvet like kind of looks one way if you cut it one way, and then if you cut it the opposite way. So that's what it looks like to me, but I can't exactly tell for sure what's going on there.
I think it's taffeta.
Oh, do you think it's taffeta? So it's got
Yeah.
that, like, you got the shininess of the taffeta catching the light, and so it kind of just looks strange.
It's really weird.
It's really weird. Yeah. So before we wrap up, I just wanted to go around the table, and any last thoughts before we head out? Because we're going to wrap things up here. Any last thoughts?
Without spoiling,
Yes.
the big twist we get in the very last episode, I had been wondering about that character for some time, because I started thinking that character was going to come back, and I started to wonder how. And then when I did see that he came back, I almost screamed. It was
Oh,
I was
okay.
like,
I haven't
"Oh
seen the
my
last
God."
episode, so
Okay, so I won't.
Yeah.
That's why I won't even say it.
Yes,
but
I know
it's
what
like-
you mean.
I'm going to watch it tonight,
right?
though. So
I
been watching-
almost know what you mean because I saw something that you posted on Twitter and I was like, nope. Scroll away.
No, I haven't posted about Witcher. You probably saw me posting about Wheel of Time.
All I saw
need to
was
start using
all I saw
hashtags.
you say was I screamed, and I was like, okay, I don't want to know what you screamed about.
That was a Spider-Man spoiler.
Oh,
Okay, see, I didn't need to see that either. I'm not
that
seeing
was
it until next week.
But I didn't write why I screamed. I just
Okay.
quoted a line and said I screamed. But that's
I'm
it.
using in the classroom says that purple is the best color, and I have to agree with that. That is my favorite color.
I
But
love
when it
purple.
comes to doing
I like
costumes-
purple, but red's my fave.
oh yeah, I think red and purple are my two favorite, Alicia. But when it comes to costume, you have to use it for a specific reason. It has to be, like color. I mean, colors should be used for a specific reason, in my humble opinion. So that's why I just want to know why they use that. So, okay, what about you, Alicia? I mean, you're going to go on and watch this. Any final thoughts on this whole thing? before we head out?
I'm gonna probably watch it maybe tomorrow. Possibly, I was gonna watch it tonight, but I might get into random tipsy antics. I don't know. I'm not looking for anything specific, honestly. I just think I'm gonna enjoy the rest of the show. I'm prone to loving all things medieval and fantasy when they're, mushed together the way The Witcher has done. So I already know I'm going to like most of it. There's probably about 20% that I may not like. And if I don't get reaction videos out like I did for episode 1, we'll definitely be doing a breakdown. Tanya, you're invited if you would like. You two ladies, let me know. You know how to reach me.
Down.
Thank you.
Angel Over asks if I've checked out Foundation. I loved Foundation. I absolutely love it.
I have to get on Foundation. JD's been
Yeah.
like banging my head like, yo, AK,
It
watch
is
Foundation.
so
We need to
good.
talk about this.
And
It's
I would
on
say,
Apple TV, right?
yes.
It's on Apple.
Okay, I've
Yeah.
been meaning to watch that too.
And I have to say, and this is pretty controversial, I think out of all the fantasy shows this year, it has the best costumes of all the shows I've watched.
Ooh, okay.
It is
nice.
so good. Like
What
really
show?
amazing. Foundation.
Foundation.
And also Lee Pace is in it.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
Lee
also
Pace.
the reason why
I
we
mean, he's
didn't
not-
see a specific character from The Expanse because of Foundation.
Yes.
Halter
Yeah.
catch
And I am
fire.
and Alicia, I am watching The Expanse. I've watched 2.
Mm.
So many good
Okay,
shows right now.
we're doing some very Expanse things that once I
Yes.
get it all really together with me and JD, I will definitely hit you up.
Ian, I did watch Midnight Mass and it's amazing. So we'll have to talk about
Midnight
that.
Mass was really good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
I
talked
really
about
want to
it.
talk about that.
We should do a New Year's Day show, like a Midnight Mass New Year's Day show.
Have any of you guys watched Hellbound on Netflix?
No, I
No,
don't
I
think
haven't
so.
watched that. I haven't
No.
watched Midnight Mass either.
Have you ever watched Hush? It's from Flanagan as well. It's a movie. It's a horror
No.
movie.
I
Oh,
don't
the
think
movie
so.
about
Watch it.
the
Watch it.
writer
No. What is it? What is it on?
with the
Yeah.
the movie with the deaf writer.
Yeah,
Yes, I
she's
saw
the
that.
one who wrote Midnight Mass.
Oh,
Oh,
no way.
okay.
Pretty
I will
cool.
look
You know
that
what?
up.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Like this, I think Alicia, I think you saw me posted that this week I'm watching like over the holidays. So we're finishing
Yeah.
up with Hawkeyes tonight, right?
We all have like the same list of things that we're
Hawkeye.
watching, right?
Friday we're watching Wheel of Time,
Yep.
right? Christmas Eve. And then
Probably gonna live stream that.
Yeah, and then obviously The Witcher, and then we're gonna watch what's that other show? I don't know where Jack is, but we're watching that other show, the one I was telling you about. Right, I forgot the name of it.
I don't remember, but I know I tacked on
dystopia.
The Expanse, and you said you're doing The Expanse.
But it's gonna be it's gonna be some fun binge watching I'm gonna be doing.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, what about you, Nani? Any final thoughts on The Witcher? It sounds like you really enjoyed it.
Yes. When is the third season coming?
Well, hopefully we won't have to wait as long. Apparently shooting this season was brutal because of COVID,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, COVID's hurt a lot of our nerd content and timing.
Yeah. So, all right, before we head out, why don't I just go around? You guys can all tell me what you're working on. I know, Alicia, you said you have a few things. Alicia, I'll start with you. What are you up to? What are you working on?
Yeah, I have, now that I think of it, like all of the things. Usually I say I'm not that busy with things I'm doing on my channel, but I do have The Expanse, always in process, even though I haven't put a whole lot out about it. Me and JD are going through that. He has never seen the series, and we know that we're up to the series finale coming up soon. So I'm taking him through that journey. We are doing The Witcher, also not The Witcher, The Wheel of Time, and he has all the source material for that. I don't, so he's taking me through that journey. We're going to be touching on Foundation eventually. I don't know if Nikki's schedule opens up, then we might talk some Expanse with her, because we're up to date on all of the things for that episode.
Now, Nikki,
and if me and Tanya,
that's Tanya's
that is,
partner,
yes,
right?
Tanya's
Okay.
partner for the
Yes.
1000 Hours and One.
Cool.
And then me and Tanya have to knock out how we're going to handle the full rewatch of the Marvel universe. I don't know how we're going to do it or when we're even going to start. Probably not until the new year. But yeah, we're up for, we've had talks about a rewatch for all of those things. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Whether we do them live or not, it's up to her. She's got kids and like a busy schedule. So I'm on her time. However she wants to do it is how we're going to work it out.
There is good news for season 3 of The Witcher, though. Kind of a little bit of a give and take with COVID. Since of the COVID the COVID break that they had to take, the lulls. It was already season 3 was already greenlit before season 2 even shot, and the scripts for season 3 are already written. So right now they're bringing on the back end. They're bringing in the directors, and then so
nice.
As long as they can film, without a bunch of shutdowns, then it looks like it'll be out with a year and a half.
That's not too bad compared to how we've had to wait on stuff too. I am also, if you guys,
yep.
Didn't they do that, like the animated prequels or something else?
There's another one, a live action.
Blood Origins.
With Michelle Yeoh's in it.
Cool.
Yep.
Cool. Oh, all you had to say was Michelle Yeoh. That's it.
Oh yeah, that looks.
I'm
so
not
good.
into. Also, I'm not into A24 movies. But Michelle Yeoh is doing like their latest one that's coming out. I'm all in just on the strength of her alone.
That looks amazing.
It looks so good.
Oh, I can't
I'm
wait.
all for all of that.
What's it called? Like Everything Everywhere at Once?
Everything, something like that. Yeah,
I'm here for
it. It looks great. I love Michelle Yeoh. She is an OG. If y'all didn't know,
she's amazing.
She was
doing Book of Boba Fett, right?
Back in her day.
She's
yeah. I believe she's
having like
one of the Mandalorians.
She's directing.
Having a huge comeback. Like she's just
was she ever really gone though?
Well, no, but I think she's doing more films maybe in Japan. Like I didn't see her for the longest time.
I think she was on a break in between, some of the things that the major things that she's done lately. Mm-hmm. But for anybody that has Apple TV, I am going to be covering Foundation eventually. If anyone has watched C with Jason Momoa, please let me know, because I've been
first season.
It's canceled.
Have you watched season 2?
No.
Did they get canceled? Oh, that sucks.
I'm saying that
was a really good show.
They had an auction in Toronto, and usually once they do the auction, that means it's done.
For All Mankind is very good.
Because that's what they did for Anna.
For All Mankind, I've been keeping up with For All Mankind
by
watching Pete Pepper's channel, and he keeps up with all that stuff.
Yep.
It seems like a good show. Yeah, I'm probably gonna check that out too. But yeah, for any random nerd things, if y'all hit me up on Twitter, Heidi's gonna have my channel the description in the.
I got it. It's
down
in there.
Yeah, hit me up if you want to talk about something. I am always down to talk about all of the nerd things.
Me too. We always love on Twitter.
Just let us know if there's something you're especially interested in.
Yeah, totally. I agree. What about you, Tanya? What do you have? I know you're a mom. You are busy with your podcast. What do you have coming up?
That cute. So look at his little.
He's been in my lap
He is
like this
so
whole
cute.
time.
The cheeks.
Oh, so adorable. Stop
cheeks.
hiding the cuteness, Tanya.
There
Look
it
at
is.
that.
So was the cute.
That's-
the cheeks.
That's little. That's little Garvey, right?
Sweetheart.
Yes,
Oh my
his
God, he's
name's
so
Garvey.
His
happy.
smile.
Oh,
Oh, he's so adorable.
the youngest
Very
YouTuber.
well behaved. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's been sitting here like almost the entire time. I just keep muting when he decides to talk.
Oh, he's so
Um,
cute. Oh my gosh.
Nikki and I are covering The Wheel of Time.
Wheel of Time.
We're gonna do a live stream on the 26th. I don't know what time yet because we're working mainly around my schedule. We're also doing our book club, Wine on an Empty Stomach. Our next book is the fifth.
I just
season.
finished it.
Yes.
I put everything that I thought about it on Instagram. So please go check it out. Tell me what you
Okay,
think.
I will. It's the fifth season by N.K. Jemisin is the book that we're doing on January 16th, and that'll be a live stream as well. That's January 16th at 3 p.m. Eastern time. That'll be a live stream as well. So those are our two things coming up.
If you guys haven't seen their Wine on an Empty Stomach streams, please go check them out because they're hilarious. I don't know what y'all know about their commentary, but they are two of like the best book reviewers that I watch on YouTube. They really are.
But I don't recommend drinking wine on an empty stomach. I don't recommend it. I've done it. It's really bad.
It is really bad.
Not your show, but I mean just in
Right,
general.
just in general.
In
life,
general,
right,
yes. You'll get a really bad hangover.
right. Yeah.
Nani, what do you have coming up? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm just trying to get my hands on a laser cutter so I can
Oh.
make a certain dress. But, well, I don't have anything laying around here, so it's hard. Do you have a laser cutter in your house, Heidi?
I
that
do
you could
not.
lend me?
I do not. I would lend it to you if I had one, but I have to get it to you somehow across the sea.
Yeah.
And also, you guys are all. Do you have any special plans for the holidays? Is it like, do you do anything special?
No, just hanging out with family. Like here, Germany's closing up everything again because of COVID. So we're just allowed to meet one house other than ours. And
Yeah.
I
so
usually
just getting
spend it.
together with Steve's family, and that's it.
I usually spend it with my sister and her family, and we're just waiting on our PCR test results so we can be responsible before we go. So
Yeah.
they're supposed to come today and tomorrow, and then if assuming negative, we'll travel tomorrow night to Massachusetts, where I'm from.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, safe travels to you.
Thank you.
Yeah. What about you, Alicia? Are you staying home, or do you go to family? Or?
I'll probably get yelled at if I stay home.
Mhm.
They're when it comes to my family, and like Tanya could tell you, they're just extra as hell. So if I don't show up, there's going to be a problem. I always go there. We hang out. We watch a bunch of random movies. Usually our older generation yells at me and my generation about nonsense. Everyone plays with the tiny humans. We don't eat the traditional foods though. A lot of times it's just a lot of chicken and steak for us. We're not American, so we just play into those. I do have a small complaint just because I'm looking for some sympathy. I got woken up before the sky was awake today, and I didn't appreciate that. I thought you were supposed to be able to sleep in on your birthday, and my aunt gave not one damn fuck about that at all.
And also, yesterday was the shortest day of the year. Your birthday's the day after, like, the solstice.
And yeah, my family did not care. They
Oh.
called me early, and I love them. Don't get me wrong, I love them. But yeah, they called me yelling in my ear this morning, like, "Yo, Mom, Auntie, please, can I go back to sleep though? It's like 5 o'clock. I don't have to be to work today. Why are we here?" Yeah. But that was it. I love them, but I'm like, damn, let me sleep, please. That's all I asked for my birthday this year.
Well, I just want to thank everyone so much for coming out today. Obviously, my guests, Alicia and Nani and Tanya. I always love having you guys so much. It was really,
Thank
really
you.
lovely.
Thanks
It's
for
always a
inviting
pleasure
me.
So nice
being
having
here.
you. And
Thank
of
you
course,
for inviting
Justin,
me.
who put this all together, and he just made it look really slick and cool.
Cheers for Justin.
Thanks, Justin, so much.
Brown.
And to Tanya's baby, who's not on camera, but he's in the
with all of
He's
his
revving.
adorableness.
He's revving up
Cuteness.
now.
He has
he's
also
awake
an
now.
opinion to share. So
He'll be awake now that we're done,
Clearly.
right?
Yeah, he's completely revved up now.
Oh, hi,
Oh my
sweetheart.
Oh, look at his face! Look at those cheeks!
The
But
cheeks.
also, I just
The
want to
cheeks
wish
get me
everyone
every time.
who came and hung out with us today. Thank you so much. And we love you. And I really wish you a wonderful holiday. Justin and I are talking about doing a Wheel of Time live stream next week because the finale is this week. So that's what I was saying. We can talk, guys, later.
Hit me up.
And then, I hopefully I have some time off on the holidays to work on some recorded videos. So hopefully gonna be doing that. I saw, by the way, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is coming out next year.
Yes.
So I was very, very excited about that. So that's gonna be really, really fun. I can't wait to see that. So anyway, thanks guys. I hope you have a lovely day. I appreciate the super chats. That was very, very kind and generous of you. You didn't have to do that, but anyway, that's always appreciated. So take care. Have a wonderful evening. Bye everyone.
Bye. Thank
Be safe on the holiday, folks.
Bye.
All right.
He's so cute. Oh my God.
I
So
can't.
good until right now.